Okay. Thanks everybody for joining today. We're super excited to have Brooke Gallant here. And Brooke is a licensed dispensing optician and an instructor of opticianry in the Allied Health Department at the New Brunswick Community College. So Brooke will be speaking about her experience in the opticianry profession, as well as providing information about the 2-year diploma program at NBCC. With vast experience in contact lens and refractive surgery, she will also touch on these specialties as well as a new opportunity to pursue a post-diploma program in contact lenses. So thanks to everyone for joining us, and I will pass it over to Brooke.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my PowerPoint to come up here, and it says that I don't have access. Is there access that might need to be granted, or?
Yeah, let me have a look at that. Okay, I think we have Peter Kelly on the call. Peter, I think you might have to grant access to Brooke. I think you might have to grant Brooke permission to share.
Okay, I'm just taking a look right now.
Okay, thanks. Brooke, if you want to, in the meantime, just in case we have trouble, feel free to email it to Peter and I.
Oh, perfect. Let's do that. I'll just email it to Peter then.
Okay.
Can you just, do you mind emailing it to Beth?
Of course.
But just double check. I think I changed your permissions.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I did just email it to.
Okay.
So, just to get started, my name is Brooke Gallant, and I am a teacher here at NBCC. I did a 2-year opticianry diploma at an other college prior to being here at NBCC, and then I worked in the field for about 5 years. When I was working in the field, I worked at a company where they did refractive lens exchange and refractive surgery, which means that we're doing surgery on the surface of the eye, whether we're correcting your vision for distance or for just near, depending on a patient's preferences. And after I worked there, I worked in the field itself, dispensing contacts and glasses. And that was very, very welcoming and humbling because patients have so many different stories, and to hear what they've gone through with their glasses or contacts before they found a good prescription was very nice to be able to help them in that way. So I do have my PowerPoint, hopefully got sent over.
I didn't get it, Brooke, but I think you have permission to share now. Do you want to try that again?
Yeah, let's try that again.
Great, thanks.
Okay, let's see if it worked. Can you guys see that?
Hey,
Yep,
that's perfect.
that works.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome, I'm glad it's working. So first we're going to learn a little bit about me, and then about the career itself, what is an optician, work experience, training, and then any questions. So I became an optician in 2019, and to become an optician in Canada or anywhere in Canada, you need to do something called NACOR, which is a exam that you do throughout Canada. They travel to each province varying on time of years. Typically New Brunswick, they do the exam in May, which is great because you're done college in May, so you have a fresh mind. Depending on different provinces, you can be licensed in up to 2 provinces. So if you would like to be something called a traveling optician, where you go from maybe Quebec to New Brunswick or PEI to New Brunswick, you can have licenses in both provinces to help more patients. And I have been working here at NBCC for 8 months, and it's very rewarding to see all of the things that students themselves come up with when they're learning hands-on or when they're in the classroom learning just with us, the teachers. It's very exciting to see what they have to say and their point of view from everything. So just a little bit about my career. I have been working in the eye care field for 5 to 7 years. While I was in school to become an optician, I actually gained a job at a company that did refractive lens exchange and refractive surgery, which was very nice because you get to do hands-on as well as learning in school. Here at NBCC, you do a total of 4 practicums for your dispensing license. And then we do a postgraduate certificate in contact lenses, which we'll do another practicum with as well. With those total of 5 practicums, you gain a lot of knowledge and hands-on experience, not just with the program itself, but with clientele, which is the most important part, being able to engage with those clients. So some positive and negatives about the profession itself. So I haven't been teaching too long, so there is no negatives just yet, but the opportunity has been a very good experience. Sharing a knowledge that I've gained from this field to students is incredible because the way I think of things and the way they think of things is very different, and it's very eye-opening to see what they know and what I know, and to be able to put it into perspective to them so they get the aha moment is very, very nice. The most challenging part of my job is juggling so many personalities at the moment. Students come with they're not all copy and paste, they're from different areas, different countries, and to be able to juggle so many different personalities is very, very challenging, but it is still very special to be able to gain their trust and to be able to show them different ways on how to learn and how to gain the information. I feel like being an instructor, sometimes you need to be a peacekeeper between the students, especially when we're doing discussions in the classroom. Sometimes certain people feel certain ways about different things, and to be the peacekeeper is a very important job. And it is similar to working in an optical when you're juggling so many patient personalities. Some patients come in and they have different stories than other patients, and it does require a little bit more time and care with them versus someone else who maybe just wants to come in and out and get their glasses. So some skills that you do need in order to be an optician is you need to be able to talk to people. So being very friendly, open, and having a big personality does help. They're always looking for expertise when it comes to the right products. Patients put a lot of trust into their opticians, and they're looking to know that they're getting the best care possible, whether it's just for glasses or for contact lenses, or maybe they're coming in with their sons and daughters and they are going to be trying on contact lenses for the first time. They're really trusting in you to give them that care and that knowledge. And you also build relationships not only with clients, but you also build it with your reps who come in for different eyeglasses companies, contact lens companies, or if you're working in an area that does refractive surgery, you're dealing with surgical reps who come in with different surgical tools, surgical skills, and it's very important to be able to build those relationships to further communication. If ever you have a patient that comes in that they broke a pair of glasses and you don't have it in stock and you have a really good relationship with that rep, you can always send them a quick message and see if they have it on hand so that you can get it changed up very quickly. Sometimes when you go get glasses, you've probably seen there's like a 2 to 3 week wait before you get those glasses back. So it's very nice to be able to have a rep that you trust in order to be able to get those glasses on time. So career paths with an optician, there are many different ways you can go. You can be an optician in a dispensary. Here in Canada, once you obtain your certificate, you can actually open up your own dispensary, which means you do not need an optometrist to work with you, which is very nice since some people would just rather have their own private practice, just selling glasses and contact lenses. There's a few opticals around the area here in Moncton that are actually owned just by opticians. So there is l'Entrepôt de la Lunetterie that is owned by opticians only. So there is no doctors working on site. You can also become a rep if you would like to. So representative of a different company, whether it's Alcon or Bausch and Lomb. If you want to just represent contact lenses or glasses, that is also a career path you can take. You can also go into the manufacturing of lenses itself. So glasses lenses, working in a company that will create the lenses for various prescriptions. And you can also work in a company that does any kind of refractive surgery, whether that be laser refractive surgery or cataract surgery. There are many opportunities in the field that you can go on to and branch onto with your opticianry license. And a very good thing about an optician is we typically have a Monday to Saturday 8 to 5 work-life balance, which is very nice. Most opticals are only open until 5 p.m. on the weekdays. So it really does give us the work-life balance that maybe not a lot of healthcare jobs have. And what is an optician? An optician is a licensed professional who is trained to help achieve optimum vision with application of eyeglasses, contact lenses, or prosthetic ocular devices. To become an optician, we have our website in New Brunswick called the Opticians Association of New Brunswick. There you can either register to become an optician in New Brunswick, or if you would like to see if there's any other provinces, they will direct you to those websites. New Brunswick Community College here in Moncton is the only college in the Maritimes that actually has the opticianry program. So it's very nice. If you would like to take this program in any other province, you might have to go as far as Ontario to take the program. So it's very nice that we have that here locally in Moncton for students. So here's a little video.
Brooke, we can't hear the sound, but we can read the subtitles, so that's okay. Yeah.
One good thing about being an optician that I find is very heartwarming is I had this young patient. He was probably 5 or 6 years old, and he got his first pair of glasses. Now, he had never had an eye exam before and never wore glasses before. And when we put those glasses on his face, he just started crying because he didn't realize that trees had leaves on them. He only thought that they were big red blobs or big green blobs on the trees. And it was so heartwarming to be able to give the quality of sight to someone who was so young that thought that everyday life was just a blur and a blob. So that was a very good feeling for me and for him as well to be able to finally see. As an optician, the work experience, a typical day is you'll see anywhere from 1 to 30 patients. This depends on the optical. So some opticals are very, very busy and they could see upwards to 50 or 60 patients a day. but a typical optical would be 1 to 30. So the traffic depends on the area that you're in as well. Sometimes opticals that have optometrists in the building are a little bit more busy than opticals that don't have optometrists. Once you start to build your patient repertoire, you're able to get more patients into the optical. Some opticals with optometrists tend to see more patients because they may have 3, 4, 5 optometrists working at once. That brings a lot more foot traffic into the optical. You typically discuss prescription requirements with your patients, so you're able to tell them what kind of glasses they need, what prescription lenses would benefit their life balance. Some patients don't only need one pair of glasses. Typically, after the age of 45, unfortunately, you lose the ability to read up close. You've probably noticed like your parents holding things so far away to be able to read them. So patients like that may need 2 pairs of glasses, or they might like a pair of contacts for the day and a pair of glasses for the night. So being an optician is being able to delegate the best needs for your patient. If you feel like they may suit better from glasses in the night and contacts in the day, it's your duty to give those options to your patients so that they can have a good quality of life. Also, once you've picked your products for the patients, you are able to take measurements to ensure that the glasses fit their visual needs perfectly. A lot of things I've heard people say in the past was when they've got their glasses, it took them so long to adjust to them, which it really shouldn't be the case. It should take a patient 2 weeks to adapt to their new glasses and their new prescription. And to be able to give the easiest transition from their old glasses to their new glasses is to make sure that you've taken precise measurements, whether it's measuring the distance from one eye to the other eye, or making sure that the prescription is in the center of their pupil instead of off to the side. These measurements are very important, which unfortunately have been in the past overstepped. And we bring opticians into the work field that are able to do the measurements precisely. Now, you don't only do measurements for glasses. If you decide to take your postgraduate certificate in contact lenses, you then open a wider field of the health sciences with eyes. You are then dispensing a medical device that goes onto their eyes, so contact lenses. Now, contact lenses are able to give patients clear distance vision or clear near vision. We've now been able to have contact lenses that do one eye for distance, one eye for near. So it's a very particular realm of work when it comes to contact lenses. And it's very nice to have that, I would say, detail-oriented personality to be able to really find the small details that the patient may be missing in their life and give them that quality of vision without the need of glasses. So I would say that's your typical work day as an optician. The education and training you need. So here at NBCC, you do get your 2-year opticianry diploma, which gives you the dispensing diploma only. You can then pursue the postgraduate diploma program in contact lenses. That course will equip you with the skills you need to be a dual licensed optician. So that means you can dispense glasses and contact lenses, which there is a great deal of missing contact lens opticians in New Brunswick, unfortunately. A lot of opticians are only able to dispense glasses. So there is a very, very big career for anyone who wants to take the contact lens postgraduate diploma. There is a lot of jobs that are missing for those contact lens opticians. Also, these qualifications will broaden your career path. So you can be a licensed dispensing optician, but not only with glasses, you can do contact lenses as well. There is a very big field of patients that aren't tapped into yet. So that would mean like patients who are in a senior home they can't necessarily get out of that senior's home to go and see an optometrist. We have a lot of optometrists here in Moncton that are so nice, and they will actually travel to the old folks' home to do prescription checks. But then the optometrist can't necessarily fill those prescriptions. So there is a big tapped in clientele that opticians, if they decided to be a traveling optician, they could be able to gain more patients going into those old folks' homes or going into facilities for patients who unfortunately don't have access to opticians or opticals that you can go in and help them. So that is something that a traveling optician can do. Once you complete your program here at NBCC, we get you ready to write your NACOR exam. This is what certifies you in the field. You would write your dispensing license in May, and then if you decide to go on to your postgraduate, you will then follow up with your contact lens course in the month of September to, I do believe, December. You'll go on practicum for about a month and a half, and then you're able to write your NACOR exam again in May. So it is about a 3-year course if you decide to do your post-grad certificate in contact lenses. But like I said, it's very important. We're missing contact lens opticians here in New Brunswick and Canada. And it's a very good thing to have both your dual license. So I did both my eyeglass and my contact lens diploma between the years of 2017 and 2019, and I passed NACOR in 2019. NACOR, we do get you ready for it here at NBCC. We have a specific semester that is just dedicated to the preparation of NACOR, where we set up scenarios in the lab and we're able to give you kind of a hands-on experience of what NACOR is like. So all of the instructors here, me, Christy, and Bridget, we've all been through NACOR, and we're able to kind of replicate the experience that you would have actually doing the NACOR exam yourself. So a good thing is that you also would write NACOR here at NBCC Moncton so that you're not in somewhere that's not kind of comfortable to you, which I find our students have the benefit of. They're already comfortable in the lab and they come here and they write NACOR in the lab. So it's nice that they have a familiar area so they're not more anxious than they already are. So lastly, some career advice that I would have is being an optician is very fun and it is very rewarding career. Helping people to gain clearer vision is so empowering. Like I said, that little boy, it really did stick with me to this day. I can't imagine someone seeing blobs as leaves and going through their whole life and not being able to really know what leaves are, what bricks on a wall are. Like it is very heartwarming to be able to give vision to someone. Working in the field is a greater meaning to me. So 20/20 vision, you may have heard it when you go to an optometrist. If they say you have perfect vision, you have 20/20 vision. Well, being able to give 20/20 vision to someone who has never seen 20/20 is so empowering. And it's so opening, I find, just to be able to have someone come in and share their story that they've never seen colors or they've never seen certain things. They've never been able to look more than 5 feet and see someone. It is so heartwarming to be able to give that to someone. It's a very good career path, and it definitely has opened my heart up to those people who unfortunately were never able to see. And I take vision for granted every day. I see perfectly, but those people who cannot see perfectly, I really do feel for them. And being able to help them see the way I see is very nice. And yeah, that's it for my PowerPoint here. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, yes. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there is one in the chat there. And I just want to say thanks for taking the time to share that with us. I think maybe while Brooke's answering this question, there may be teachers who have students in the room who have questions, and if you could type them in the chat, that would be awesome. So can you see? I can read it to you. I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah,
I see some.
see
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yes. So Peter said, when did you realize you wanted to work in the health field? Was there an experience that led you into this field? So I took 1 year off after high school because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And during that 1 year off, I worked in an old folks home, and I remembered having all these old folks. Their glasses were all messed up, or they could never see properly with their glasses. And a lot of their complaints were that they didn't see the way they did when they were 20 years old. And I was thinking, wow, to not be able to see the way you did when you were so young is scary, because I will be there one day, and I wanted to be able to give them the same vision that they had when they were 20 years old. So then I started looking into healthcare fields that were related to eyes, and I stumbled across opticianry, which I had never really heard of, to be honest. And I then went into my local optometrist that was at the time in Shediac, New Brunswick, and I spoke to the optometrist there, and I asked him if he knew of anywhere that was doing the optician course. And at that time, he said there was one place in all of the Maritimes, at the time was Fulton's College. And he said they are taking that program. And then I applied and I got in. And I didn't really realize how much of a health science program it was until I got there. I thought it was just glasses itself. But then it opens up to contact lenses, and it opens up to eye diseases and eye health and dry eyes and things that you don't really think of when you think of someone giving you a pair of glasses. So for me, my moment of I really wanted to be able to help people was when I was just working with kind of the vulnerable population, and they were just always saying, like, I haven't seen as good as I did when I was 20. I haven't seen as good when I was young. And being able to actually go in and do a practicum and help them was very, very nice, to be able to give them at least the proper adjusted frames, or being able to give them glasses that actually fit and sit on their face nicely. It was very heartwarming.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I heard you say there's a lot of opportunities in this field as well, and particularly with contact lenses. So that's good to know. Mrs. Kraft's class has asked, what is most helpful to take in high school to prepare?
Yes. So the most helpful thing to take in high school would be biology, chemistry, and physics. Now, you might be thinking, physics, what does that have to do with glasses? Well, glasses are basically optics. It's an optical device that has a refractive index to it. So big words, meaning that these indexes are the way that the light hits from your surface of your eye to your retina. And physics is able to open up how you're able to understand how formulas work, how you're able to understand refractive indexes, or the way to see the light spectrum. Now, we only require that you either have bio or chem or physics, or bio and physics, so 2 of the 3. But I would say physics would be the most important part, so that you're able to have a good grasp on math, because you do learn a lot of math in the opticianry program. Would you mind sharing a typical salary? Yeah. So opticians, if you just decide to do your dispensing license and you do not want to continue with your contact lens diploma, a dispensing optician can make anywhere from $60,000 to $65,000 a year. Now, when you do gain your diploma for contact lenses, it brings your salary up to about 60 to, I do believe, 75, 80, depending on where you're working. Now, a lot of companies like Costco or Vision Group Canada, they do have a bigger salary cap. Now, they sometimes would pay more, like $90,000 a year, depending on where you work. But like a typical salary, I would say, was be between 60 to 75,000.
That's great.
Yeah. And, working Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 is very nice. A lot of opticals too in Moncton, they're not open on the weekends. So you really do work like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, which is very nice.
Right. And you mentioned too that some opticians work as entrepreneurs as well. They run their own business. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's actually a company, and I'm sure most of you have heard of it. It's called l'Entrepôt de la Lunetterie, or it's Optical Warehouse. And it's two brothers who are opticians who took the company over from their parents who were opticians. And they've kind of branched their business from Quebec to New Brunswick. So it is a Quebec Opticianry owned program company. But because they're able to be dual licensed opticians, they can bring it here into New Brunswick as well. So it's kind of growing throughout New Brunswick. I did hear talk that they might be opening places in Nova Scotia, which is nice because one brother can be dual licensed in Quebec and New Brunswick, and the other could be Quebec and Nova Scotia. So it's very nice. And it's nice to work on your own hours as well. We did have a company here in Moncton called Off the Wall. And Off the Wall was in Moncton, and I do believe Fredericton or St. John. And he was actually an optician himself. Now, unfortunately, with COVID, there was something that happened with his family and he had to move back home. So unfortunately, it's not a thing in New Brunswick anymore, but I do believe he did open in Ontario, Off the Wall, and he just owns his business himself. So he makes the lenses himself there. He makes the glasses himself, like he actually makes glasses, which is crazy. And he did a little bit of contact lens dispensing. So it was nice. He could work his own hours.
That's great. I think we got all the questions in the chat. If anybody has any more, pop them in. We have about 4 more minutes. One thing I was wondering is, has the field changed over time as a result of like technological advances and digital innovation?
Yeah, so the field has changed greatly since online opticals have become a thing like Zenny. And the problem with online opticals like that is they're not actually taking the proper prescription and putting it in front of your two eyes because you're doing it online and you're not having someone there mark exactly where the prescription is supposed to go. So sometimes we have patients come in and one prescription's all the way over here and the other one's all the way over here. So they're not getting the best quality of vision that they should have gotten if they would have went to an optician. Another thing that is changing is glasses lenses itself. So now we're able to give you glasses that do like computer vision. So for people over the age of 45, they can see their keyboard in their computer. Whereas before they were only given one option of progressives, which means you see far away, computer, and reading. But some people, they need just their computer and reading. So that part of the industry has grown. Contact lenses as well now. We've been able to have contacts where you're able to see far away, computer distance, and reading distance. And the refractive elm of it, when I worked in the refractive surgery part, we're now able to give people at the age of 18, if their vision is stable, 20/20 vision, which was amazing, so that they didn't have to go through the ages of 18 to 40 or their crunch time when they go to university having to worry about, did I change my contact lenses? Did I update my prescription? You're able to kind of just have that clear vision and not worry about it so much, which was very nice in that aspect.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with the students today. We appreciate all the students and teachers who joined us. I'm going to, I'll stop the recording here and then, here we go. And then if anybody wants to stick